Souths have made one alteration to the side, which beat Sydney CSC 5-2 last week. Young Socceroo Kevin Muscat returns from suspension. Marconi Fairfield suffered a major setback last night with Ian Gray dropping out because of injury. Experienced clubman Steve Calderon was promoted, while Darren Yorker also came into the starting lineup. Injuries and suspensions have seen some major positional changes to the Marconi Fairfield team. Hasler, Petersen, Awaritefe sprinting through. Awaritefe and Bingley, and wide again. The wasted opportunity. The tally continues. South Melbourne, 11 chances to Marconi's 2. Both teams promised attacking football end to end, and they haven't disappointed. They're playing it like a grand final. Trimboli shot, and Schwarzer got down there again. Mark Schwarzer, the hero for Marconi in the second half, and he had a pretty shaky first 45 too.
Well, that is a splendid save, and here's Trimboli. Hardly seen him all day because of that man-to-man marking of Johnson, I should say, and that's the reason he's man-to-man marked. Half an opportunity, he's on goal.
That's just like a grand final here at Middle Park. 0-0 still. Petersen, Tasios lines it up, and just skewing it wide. This has been an amazing game. Still no goals. Well, you just wonder what will happen when one goes in, John. Will there be more to follow?
Well, the gates would probably open because Marconi would have to change their game plan, but South Melbourne must be wondering what they've got to do. The opportunities are there, and the danger. We've seen games so often, Andy, where teams have so many opportunities, fail to take them and get paid back.
The last two games here at Middle Park have resulted in wins for Marconi by 3-0 and 2-1. Corica sliding it across. Lagoya Kuleski. It wasn't a bad strike at all. Kuleski, who was under an injury cloud coming into this game. It's the first time he's had a bit of a strike at goal, but well and truly over that crossbar. Trimboli with a lovely nudge on. Awaritefe waiting for support. And just clipped away by Hermano Perlucci. Corica getting away from Hasler, keeping his cool and balance and poise. Kuleski looks on. Taliadoros, too much on that. Now Taliadoros, though, gets a second chance. There's no one running off him. Johnson and Taliadoros. Well, luckily for Marconi, Bingley was there. Harper, Danny Wright. Harper still squeezed it on for Johnson, and there was the Socceroo captain, Paul Wade. Calderon, one of 4 Marconi juniors in the starting 11. And Mano Perlucci toiling hard. And there was Van Egmond. Corica. Muscat was committed. Corica looks up, and it was blocked again by Paul Wade. They're clawing their way back. There are some promising signs there for Marconi. It just surprises me. There still is not a goal in this game. Corica again. And the ball was intended for Taliadoros, but it went straight to Hasler. And the long ball, Schwarzer will get there. Smart play by the young keeper.
Good sweeping by Schwarzer off his line. It's a better clearance than we saw from him at Marconi Stadium a few matches ago, where he nearly got a goal, but good sweeping off the line. defence caught square and sweeping at the back. Marconi's problem, Andy, is when they're getting the ball, they're giving it away too easily. They just don't have enough touches to build anything. They're winning enough possession, but unfortunately giving it away too easily.
Flag up on Awaritefe. In contrast, John, South Melbourne are playing a free-flowing game, and their one touch is outstanding today.
I think in fairness to Marconi, you have four players out. It's not easy. That certainly doesn't reflect on the players coming in, but it does affect your fluency, your teamwork, and particularly to come and play a red-hot South Melbourne. I mean, they've demolished. Well, demolished is probably too strong a term, but 5-2 last week over Sydney CSC. The week before, 4-2 over West Adelaide. They haven't been beaten in 10 games. They're virtually at full strength, and they're really on a roll. So, not really the ideal game to be making 4 changes to your lineup, as Marconi had to do today.
Corica. The challenge had come in from Stephen Tasios. Stephen Calderon.
And that's just exactly what we're talking about, not against Steve as much. It was just a missed pass, but they're getting the ball and there's not a lot happening when they get it. Certainly not the fluent Marconi that we've come to admire this year. Just a little bit too nervous. They really need a leader at the moment, someone to get hold of it and start to control things when they get in possession.
Mike Petersen. Just waiting for Gary Hasler to get up into that box and Trimboli to assume his position. It'll be that deep ball. Will Boutsianis make the run through? In it comes. Schwarzer looks. Bit of a spill. Awaritefe and Hasler. Schwarzer's off his line. He's just getting back there now. Right back for Awaritefe. Hasler wants it inside. And I really think that Francis has milked.
Well, he has
milked one there.
Tsolakis is upset, and this happens quite a lot, Andy. Players really milking the free kick by running into the opponent. That was certainly the case there.
Smart play by Awaritefe.
Well, if you can get away with it, but for me, it was not a foul. Petersen
with a free kick. Danny Wright's up there. Boutsianis and Awaritefe are deep in that box, in that 6-yard box. In it comes. Awaritefe, he was waiting, but Bingley was there to deny him. Durakovic. Well, the offside flag went up, and good work by the Marconi defence to get out quickly. You sense really make or break time now, Andy, for Marconi. They really are on the ropes, and ideally they would like to make a change. The problem is that on the bench they have 2 very young players, probably not the type of player you're looking for to throw in now to try and turn the tide, but a real crunch period for them now. Wade away. Bingley just keeping his eye on the ball. Looking. Chased down by Petersen. And Johnson got in ahead of Trimboli. Beluki and Awaritefe comes away with it. Hasler. And you can see the commitment out there at Middle Park. And Muscat, an uncharacteristic mistake by him, Beluki. Laying it off for Corica. And Corica can't get past Danny Wright. But it looks like Hasler has been pinned for a foul on Corica. Tom McCrow was right there. And at the moment, Glenn Johnson is down. And the fans have certainly been giving Frank Arrock a bit of lip service, you could say. Frank's claiming that Johnson copped an elbow, and he's up off the bench. He's very disappointed. Well, Frank Arrock has been sent off. Well, I've seen it all today, John, except the goal. Frank Arrock has been sent from the bench in the 22nd minute of this game. Frank claiming that Johnson copped an elbow. We were obviously following the play. And I don't really think there'll be any video evidence of any infringement. Arok sent off. Ricky Bedini, the assistant coach, will have to take over from the bench. Stephen Calderon has got extra pressure on him. Thrown in at the last minute into this game, replacing the captain Calderon.
Well, copped it from his own player.
Yes, it wasn't really
no, not South Melbourne player at all. From Paluki.
Well, Arok, we've seen...
Frank behind bars.
That reminds me of Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv.
The World
89?
Cup qualifier, yep, against Israel. At the midway mark in the second half. Number 10, Stephen Corica there. And next to him, Koleski on the left, and Pyrgolios just on the right. The wall is set. Dean Anastasiadis is fairly happy with it. Pyrgolios curling it and well and truly wide of that mark. And Frank Arok has been behind bars once. That was at the Ramat Gan Stadium.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't think it wasn't 89, it was earlier.
It was the previous World Cup qualifier, the 86 qualifying phase.
When Greedy taken off injured.
And Ian Gray, coincidentally, acted as the runner that day. Well, now on that Marconi bench, Ricky Bedini has got a real job in his hands, and Tony Pisano will act as the runner today as Paul Trimboli will receive some attention. The match has had everything here at Middle Park. First against second, the clash of the Titans.
Well, the biggest problem for Ricky taking over is if he's to make a change. I don't think players can really hear coaches yelling from the bench, and with the atmosphere on, it's oh, Tony Pisano will be the runner today if there's a change to be made.
Well, the two substitutes, the young substitutes, are warming up. That's the youngster Graham Payne on the left, just 18 years of age. He hasn't even played in the Coca-Cola soccer. Boutsianis. Con Boutsianis is being replaced by Peter Tsolakis, and who will forget those 2 goals?
Interesting change, Andy. Boutsianis had an outstanding first half, very quiet in the second half, hence the change. Tsolakis scoring twice with his first 3 touches last week when he came on as a sub in the last 10 minutes.
Lagoya Koleski's corner. Dean Anastasiadis climbed high above the pack. He's really excelled since his debut 9 games ago. And Taliadoros was held on to on that far side. It hasn't been the homecoming that Kimon Taliadoros would have liked.
Difficult game for them, Harper and Taliadoros and the Ioka. They really haven't had the supply, Andy, that they normally receive, and have been separated from the rest of the team in a lot of respects because of their lack of dominance in midfield. We were saying before, Frank Arok happy with a draw. I think in the circumstances of this match and the opportunities that the South Melbourne have missed, and with just over 10 minutes remaining, that Marconi will be happy with a draw.
Stephen Tasios, he's had a lot of the ball today. Petersen, the same could be said for the Socceroo. Tsolakis' first touch. Little cheeky ball inside, away by Calderon. Hasler, and Petersen is free. Chipping it on for Awaritefe, and it tipped over by Schwarzer. What does a man have to do to break the deadlock here at Middle Park? The header bringing the best out of the youngster Mark Schwarzer.
Excellent header and an even better save. I thought perhaps Mickey Peach could have taken the shot there. Unselfish, setting up Awaritefe with the touch by Schwarzer, saving the day again for Marconi.
Hasler lines it up! And Gary Hasler. The pain on the face of these South Melbourne supporters tells it all. That was some shot indeed by Gary Hasler, the Socceroo. This is turning out to be perhaps the most unbelievable match of the day in this Coca-Cola Soccer League competition. We've seen the match switch from end to end, more so at that Marconi end. That goal mouth has been under so much pressure. Tasios, can he weave his way through? No. Calderon. Ioka, and too much on the ball for Darren Ioka.
And again, Marconi's problem, Andy, winning it, giving it away.
Kuleski, who took a real bad knock to the left shin during training this week. And it's surprised that he really made it out there today. Corica back for Kuleski. A deep searching ball for Taliadoros. Anastasiadis just kept his balance and poise there. He read the situation well. It was always going to skid through to him. Didn't overcommit himself. Now his clearance for Awaritefe. And again, the man who closed down Corica was Kevin Muscat there. Corica's waiting for some sort of support. No one's coming to him. There's only Ioka and Taliadoros, and there's so many South Melbourne players there, but Taliadoros came away with it. Muscat with a challenge, and now Awaritefe, but that ball is way too long for Trimboli. And young Graham Payne a smart play from him as well. Bingley. Kuleski. And let it, he let it run. Should have gone across to meet the ball. Wade. First against second here at Middle Park. Will this be the goal for South Melbourne? But the flag is up. Offside. These two teams, of course, have played the most NSL games of any club with Adelaide City. They've played in every NSL season since the league's inception in '77. And this is their 31st encounter, and Marconi have won 13 of those 30 games, with South Melbourne victorious on 9 occasions. The way they play today, this should really be South Melbourne's 10th victory against Marconi. But the scoreline says 0-0. We've had 37 minutes of normal time, and you can add the stoppages. Trimboli. Payne there. Hasler's cross. Just blocked there by Calderon. Kuleski on, but straight to Muscat. Hasler. Muscat. One of the rare forays up for him. Cheeky ball on for Tsolakis. And the cross headed away by Calderon. Wade. Petersen slotting it through. Will this be the goal? It won't, as Tasios tried his best to lay it off for Paul Trimboli. And the Marconi defence does it again, but there'll be a change. Fabio Maculino will enter the cauldron here at Middle Park. Maculino will be coming on for an attacking player in Ioka. So it's fairly obvious that Frank Alrock is after at least a point here.
At this stage, let's hold on to what we've got. The ball's rolled kindly for them today, Marconi, so the thinking is let's strengthen the midfield and play out time for these last 5 or 6 minutes.
Petersen. The referee Well, he's pulled up play against Petersen there, but looks like Guleski is the man, or is that Perluki? I think it's a number Perluki, which it is. We'll just have a look here. Petersen's in possession. Yes, Perluki was held onto by Mike Petersen as he was going down.
Ioka included in that squad, Andy, for the young Socceroos down here on Friday night against Korea Republic.
He'll stay here tonight.
Stay here. The squad assembles tomorrow. Excellent preparation for our young Socceroos, and Ioka got a chance now to force his way into that squad for the World Youth Championships in March. The other games on Australia Day in Adelaide, Korea Republic against the young Socceroos, a Tuesday evening, and a Friday week, Marconi Stadium.
Some of the young Socceroos are out here watching this game. I noticed Goran Lozanovsky and Vasco Trubchevsky. Of course, their team, Preston, plays South Melbourne next week with Connor Reserve, and for Marconi, they're at home to Melbourne CSC next Saturday night. And those other games, I'll go through them quickly. Newcastle against Sydney CSC on Friday. Morwell at home to West Adelaide on Saturday. Heidelberg have a Sunday fixture against Brisbane at Olympic Village. Parramatta are at home to Wollongong City at Melita Stadium on Sunday. And Adelaide City play Sydney Olympic on Sunday night at Hindmarsh. Time running out. We're into the last 5 minutes of normal time. Billed as the clash of the Titans, and it's really lived up to all expectations. Payne getting in there on Trimboli, and he's won it for Macalino. And Kevin Muscat giving his young Socceroo teammate a warm welcome.
The Koreans will be happy with that tackle, Andy. Teammates next Friday against Korea Republic. A little bit of a clip from Kevin on his young Socceroo teammate. Just on that series, Andy, we all enjoyed the Brazil visit, and I'm sure Australian fans are going to enjoy Korea, a team that always plays very skillful, very exciting brand of football. And at youth level, there's little difference between all the nations. So for those that enjoyed the young Socceroos Brazil, they will certainly enjoy Korea Republic.
And Petersen in a lot of trouble there. On this performance, John, South Melbourne title favourites?
I think they're favourites, but I think it's unfair to judge Marconi on today. It's been a very difficult game for them for the reasons that we've enumerated throughout this half. That they have so many players out, it's forced them to reorganise. So I certainly wouldn't get carried away, but it has been a game South Melbourne should have won. They've been, in an offensive sense, certainly the better side. They have missed incredible number of opportunities or had them denied by some excellent defence from Marconi. But on what we've seen so far this year, you'd have them 1 and 2, probably still West Adelaide. You'd have us 3 on what we've seen, Andy. But that's bad news for South Melbourne. Mickey P is such an important part of that midfield, and looks a nasty injury, a fair amount of pain.
Well, what a way to celebrate your 200th game.
Just on these two teams, Andy, along with Adelaide City, these are the only two sides that have played every game in the NSL, 439. And they have the same number of points, 520 each, over 18 seasons, which indicates how even they are. As clubs over that period, both foundation members of the league, 439th game, 520 points each.
And these are the two teams that many expect to finish up facing each other at the grand final of the Coca-Cola Soccer League. It's still a long way off. This is round 16 of the Coca-Cola Soccer League. And still, surprisingly, it's 0-0 here at Middle Park. Durakovic was looking for Awaritefe again. Bingley, up was Muscat. Tsolakis. The switch, a good one for Healy. In comes across by Hasler. Up was Calderon. We've seen him do that about 3 or 4 times in the last 10. Wade slipping it on. Lovely turn. And the cross just too close to Schwarzer. It's a nice move by Danny Wright down that left side. Nicolino couldn't get in there ahead of David Healy. Hasler across now for Tsolakis. The 45 minutes are up. We're playing stoppages. Now Awaritefe. Calderon, penalty. Awaritefe goes down on the box. The referee, Tom McGraw, didn't hesitate to point to the spot. And when it looked like perhaps the match would end at 0-0, South Melbourne have the opportunity to take the 3 points.
Yeah, there's no doubt it's a penalty, Andy. Maybe some justice in a way for South Melbourne, who have dominated it. There you can see the ball's not played. Steve just caught out a little bit by the change of pace from Awaritefe. And a big moment now for Mark Schwarzer.
And have a guess who's lining up for the penalty. Peter Tsolakis, the 2-goal hero last week against Sydney CSC. He has the chance now to send these fans delirious here at Middle Park. Peter Gus Tsolakis. 37 goals so far in the Coca-Cola Soccer League. Will it be 38? Tsolakis, and he's put it away too! The celebrations will continue throughout Melbourne. The clash of the Titans, and the deadlock has been broken. The fans are jumping up and down here at Middle Park, and why shouldn't they? South Melbourne have done enough here to take the 3 points. Tsolakis, another sign for the coach, Pyrgolios, that perhaps Gus Tsolakis should be forcing his way in, but such is the depth of this squad, John. They've got plenty of backup.
Well, it's a great type of player to bring off the bench each week and score goals for you. But few would argue that South Melbourne deserve to win today. It hasn't been a better one for Marconi for the reasons with the players out and so on. They have had the opportunities. Sure, they haven't taken them, but deserved winners. Or maybe we're speaking too early, Andy, on what we've seen this year. But should South Melbourne get the points, they deserve them for mine on what we've seen here today.
The smoke screen descends on Middle Park, and let's hope there's not too many unrowdy scenes for the remainder of this game. There's been about 2.5 minutes for stoppages. Schwarzer, who had kept them out for so long in the second half in particular, but a lovely strike from Tsolakis. And Francis decides to make sure of it anyway. And those flares really are not warranted in any soccer ground here in this country. That's the only thing you can say against what we've seen here at Middle Park. Because basically it's forced both teams to sit there and wait for the smoke haze to clear. The fans are absolutely delighted. They've had to endure a pretty frustrating 90 minutes. Marconi, they've held on for so long. They're down by a goal, and that should be the ball game. The Tsolakis penalty splits them. I'd say there'd probably be another minute and a half. The match is not over yet, though, although Tom McCrow has been looking at his watch. Trimboli. Across for the hero, Tsolakis. Inside for Awaritefe, who's onside. Awaritefe! Oh, 2-0! What a drive into that top corner by Awaritefe. That's it. The celebrations will go on and on here at Middle Park. We've seen him so many times. And
tremendous strike, but I doubt whether he's onside, Andy. It is difficult at this angle. He did appear to me to be offside, but let's have a look at the replay. The linesman, of course, in a much better position. Marconi players are complaining. I tend to agree with them. But it is a splendid strike and makes up for some of the frustration Francis has had today. Well, we can't see from there, but Calder and complaining allowed us. But it did appear to me at the moment the ball was played, which is the deciding factor, that he was offside.
2 goals in injury time. 2 goals in injury time here at Middle Park. We expected goals, and who would have predicted the goals would come in the dying stages of this game. The result here will see South Melbourne move up to 35 points, and that'll be a 4-point buffer on Marconi. A psychological advantage going into the big games at the end of the season. Tsolakis and Awaritefe, the goal scorers. And Anastasiadis at the other end. We haven't seen Dean Anastasiadis tested that many times today. But he is a goalkeeper of the future in this Coca-Cola Soccer League. Talk of Anastasiadis perhaps trying his luck in Greece at the end of this season. And who's to doubt that? We've played 6 minutes of stoppages. And Taliadoros should have pulled it back to 2-1 there. Durakovic is smiling. It's been a very tough afternoon for Kimon Taliadoros. Hasn't seen the sort of supply he's being used to, but this one really for him should have been a goal. Well, we've seen it all today, John. Goals, clearances off the line, penalties, coaches being sent from the bench. The match of the day again hasn't disappointed us.
No, it's been another first-class performance from South Melbourne. The number of opportunities, particularly in the first half, they missed. The game should have been wrapped up a lot earlier, but you're saying Taliadoros had a quiet game. And again, that's been from some excellent marking at the back from South Melbourne, more importantly by their dominance in midfield, where Marconi really haven't had control of the game, haven't been able to give the likes of Harper and Taliadoros the support they deserve to trouble the South Melbourne defence.
The chant of "We are the champions" going up around here at Middle Park. Still plenty of time left in this competition. Round 16, the battle between the top 2 teams. Muscat inside for Awaritefe. Lovely skills. Schwarzer was there at the near post and called it away. Muscat. This will be one of the rare games for him this season. Hasler inside. No one was looming at the edge of that box except for Macalino. Harper, he couldn't get there ahead of Wright. Muscat chases. Corica comes through. And good work from Anastasiadis. And Stephen Corica was flying. Tsolakis, the goal. Look at this, what it does to you. Tasios. Awaritefe pulls back. And Tasios can't get it in. It's a corner on that far side. 53 minutes and 44 seconds on my watch. I might have to put the lights on here at Middle Park soon. Trimboli volleys at the near post. The overhead by Payne. There it is. The final whistle. South Melbourne walk away victorious here at Middle Park. Their unbeaten run continues. 2-0 over Marconi Fairfield. The goals came in injury time in this second half. Awaritefe made sure of the result and the points for his team. But moments earlier, that little man there, Tsolakis, split them with a penalty. Schwarzer and the boys having a bit of a chat about it. But no doubt these two teams will meet later on in this competition. Delight for the fans here as the players celebrate. We could have had a packed house. A heavy downpour killed off that. The psychological advantage going into those top 6 playoffs. South Melbourne, the victory for them gives them a 4-point buffer at the top. So on behalf of Johnny Warren, Les Murray and the rest of the SBS crew, we trust again that you've enjoyed our Coca-Cola Soccer League match of the day, and we've enjoyed bringing it to you as this competition continues to impress us a great deal. So on behalf of the team, it's goodbye from Middle Park.